Hello aspirants and welcome again to Legacy IS Academy. In this lecture, we will be looking at the future arenas of business growth and the fact that India should be ready to shine in this arena. Why? Because probably we are well placed with respect to the availability of the labor. Of course, we'll have to skill that. That's a challenge, but we can do that. We have a demographic dividend potential, as well as we are a very young economy, as well as a huge market. So we should definitely take advantage of this. But before we do that, let us understand what is this future arenas of business. So first we'll understand what are arenas of business, what have been the present today's arena of business, and what are the future arenas of business, and what is the criteria for deciding and who is deciding this future arenas of business. So it is the McKinsey Global. What they have done is they have analyzed certain arena, not the arena, but they have analyzed the entire economy and have come up with 18 emerging fields of business that are likely to be arenas of the future. Okay, likely to be arenas of the future. Now, of course, given India's talent and market, India should be ready to capitalize on it. So before that, let's understand what are business arenas. Now, business arenas are basically defined as that specific category, that specific or unique, you can say unique category of industries, which are defined by two things. Number one is the growth, and number two is dynamism. Dynamism, it means it is changing. That means this arena which is presently, today's arena may not remain the same in the future. Some of them can, but many of them will change because they are dynamic in nature, changing in nature, and it is characterized by growth, high growth. What do we mean by high growth? Means if you keep aside these present today's arena, there are 12 which McKinsey Global says, and in future there will be 18. That means that today's 12 business, or let's say arenas of business, they are growing at a much higher pace than other arenas, or not the arenas, and then other fields combined. In the same manner, the future 18 arenas of business will grow at a way faster rate than the rest of the sectors. That is the whole point of it. So what are arenas of today? So arenas of today, remember, if in prelims it is asked, the arenas of today is not presently in 2025. The arenas of today, McKinsey Global defines as the arenas which did exceptionally well, which had a higher growth rate in the year 2005 to 2020. And there were total 12 such arena. Number one being software, then you have semiconductors, consumer internet, e-commerce, very important e-commerce, I'll tell you why. Then you have consumer electronics, biopharmaceuticals, industrial electronics, payments, you have digital payments, right? The volume of payments have increased. Specifically in India, it has increased exponentially. Then video and audio entertainment, cloud services, hard drive used to first have CDs, floppies, then CDs, then DVDs, then you have pen drives, then you have external hard drives. Now you have cloud storage. Cloud storage is so prevalent, and you can store as much as you can, literally. So cloud services, electric vehicles, and information enabled business services. Now why e-commerce is important? Because we will see that e-commerce is not just the part of today's business arena, but also of the future. Plus, it will be growing even more than what it has already grown, of course, right? So that is why it is, of course, important. So why these were considered as arenas of growth now? Because see, it is very easy to analyze. We are analyzing in the height side. The results are already there, so we can easily identify. Difficulty is in identification of the future. We will see how that is identified. So how was the identification of present day arenas was made? These 12 arenas were such that it generated less than 10% of the total global economic profit in 2005. But what happened? By 2019, they accounted for half of the total economic growth. So by 2005, just less than 10%. By 2019, that means in less than a decade, it constituted half of the economic growth. As a result of which, what happened? Suddenly there was a huge shift, and the growth was exponentially high. Now, some of the arenas of today will continue to be the arenas of tomorrow. I gave an example of e-commerce, but many will be replaced and new arenas will come. We will see what will they be. Now, what is the difference between arenas and non-arenas? Arenas earn greater profits than other industrial sectors. They spawn disproportionate number of global giants. What does this mean? That if you look at the global giant companies, disproportionately majority of them would belong to these arenas of business rather than some other. Why? Simply because these arenas are faster growing, having high market capitalization, so definitely would consist of bigger, better, faster growing companies as well. I hope that is absolutely clear. Now they of course offer an opportunity to, for new entrants. Means what? Okay, if this arena, if you can estimate what arena is going to grow, maybe it's a completely unthought of, you might think it has gone down, not do well, but suddenly it does well and you happen to be a part of it, you will have an extremely great chance of success. So that is why it is important. So what are these 18 arenas of future competition? These 18 arenas of future competition will of course provide you greater profits, of course will have disproportionate number in the global companies, and will provide you opportunities. So what are these arenas? Let us have a look. The very first, if we talk about, is e-commerce. As I said, e-commerce is there in present arena also, e-commerce will be there in future also. Maybe the nature may change. What do I mean by that? Now you are getting things delivered at your home, at your place in 10 minutes, in less than 10 minutes, you blink it and you can have it, right? You think of it and you can have it. You are getting advertisements like that. At the same time, in less than 10 minutes, in fact 5-6 minutes at times as well in big metropolitan cities, where demand is so high, so many delivery people and so many dark stores present just next to your house probably, so you immediately get it. Now their delivery people are delivering these items. Now this e-commerce may remain, but in future it can so happen that the drones may deliver it. It will become even fast. How? Because now in big metropolitan cities, in Mumbai, in Bangalore, demand is high, so you can employ too many delivery people also, because demand will be there. So different locations you can have people, different locations you can have dark storages, but there would be traffic also. So sometimes due to high traffic, the time taken would be more. But with the use of drones will certainly sidestep the traffic and get it to you faster. However, at a later period, there is a possibility that even in the sky there will be traffic. However, that is for the later instance. As of now, the height at which the drones fly, the traffic is less. So in the near future, you can see drones delivery making it so extremely more faster than the usual traditional delivery. It will remain over there. Plus you have AI software and services, artificial intelligence. It is being used and will be used in literally everywhere, not just vehicles, but basically you talk about IT or AI related to anything and everything, since internet can be added in anything and everything, even in the shirt you wear, even AI can be added, plus the cloud services. So cloud services was previously there, it will still remain. Electric vehicle was previously there, it will still remain because it is just getting started. It has exponentially improved, but in the future it is going to generate more and more revenue, because the percentage of electric vehicle is still very, very less. Research and development in this area is high, but percentage of vehicle is still less, and that to some percentage in the Western, in the developed world. In developing world, of course, it is even lesser. So in future, it will be even more. Then you have digital advertising, very important. Now what happens? Presently what happens is you are watching a match, and then the match broadcasting completely goes away, and then you see a complete ad. So you are missing a part. Maybe what is happening on the field, what discussion is going on, right? So on and so forth. You can miss a lot of things, and suddenly the next ball is already bowled and the advertisement did not get over. Sometimes you face all this. It's a disruption. The same thing happens. You're watching a movie, etc., etc. Now with digital advertisement, what will happen is your match and everything is going on, it slightly reduces, and suddenly there is an advertisement on one side or in the middle, of it at a certain side of small size, so that you can watch the action as well as there can be advertisements as well. This and many new methods will come up for advertising. Plus then you have semiconductors, very important in artificial intelligence, in computing, in digitization, in internet of things, etc. There will be a need of this. Then shared autonomous vehicle. Autonomous vehicle means what? Self-driven vehicle, driverless car, and of course the space. Of course, we are trying, not we, but the West, or probably one particular person and his company is trying to colonize, so to say, colonize the space or Mars, for example. Then you have cyber security. Cyber security will become even more important because of Internet of Things. Means everything will be connected to internet. That means everything can be controlled by internet. You know, the heart, the pacemaker of the in the heart can also be connected by the internet, right? So when it is connected, it can be controlled by the internet, so things would be in danger. So cyber security. Then batteries, of course, again very important. If you're talking about electric vehicles, the issue with electric vehicles is you have to charge it again and again. It takes some time to do that. It doesn't take much time to fill petrol or diesel, but it takes a lot of time to charge. At the same time, the batteries are quite huge, quite heavy. It is less efficient. So what research and development is still happening is how to reduce the size, increase the efficiency, so that the charging requirement is less, it is faster, so on and so forth. It is only going to go more and more. Then modular construction. Today construction takes a lot of time. That is why infrastructure projects are a long gestation project, because it takes a lot of time. Can we shorten it? Can we modularize it? Can we make models of it, templates of it, and just you have to do is place the templates with slight modifications. And then streaming videos. Streaming videos is presently also, if you look at it, billions of hours of videos are getting streamed probably, and it is going to remain. Then you have your video games plus robotics. Robotics again related to AI, and industrial and consumer biotechnology, plus future air mobility. I talked about the drones, delivery happening through drones. Now why to have just a bike? You can have a thing like which can, you can just simply fly individually as well, cutting short the traffic on the road will reduce, and it helps in basically traveling. However, it may come up with its own challenges as well. And last but not the least, the last two, one of them is very important. Let us discuss. One is nuclear fission power plants and drugs for obesity and related condition. The striking thing, that the things that you strike here is, if drugs for obesity and related conditions should be so much in demand and will be the future business arena, that means there will be huge amount of obesity and the conditions related to it. All right. So other things, fine, well and good, but we should ensure that we prove this domain to be wrong, not in a negative sense, but in a sense that try and avoid becoming obese. Of course, there are hormonal conditions which may not be in our control, but otherwise we should try to exercise, do yoga, remain healthy, eat healthy, and ensure obesity is not there, because it's the home for all the diseases then. And in India, as the income and all is increasing, our non-communicable disease percentage is going down, and communicable disease percentage is going down, and non-communicable disease percentage is going up. Non-communicable disease means lifestyle disease, and diseases related to obesity are a part of it. Right? So these are the 18 future arenas where competition will be there, where growth will be there. It is predicted. This 18 can be 16, can be 20, can be this, can be something else, can be completely something else, or completely this, or some of the modifications. Now India, what is in it for India? India is a young population, huge amount of working force is there. All we need to do is educate and develop their skills, and the government has come up with Skill India mission, but in that it was majorly related to the industrial sector, that to cottage industry, small scale industries, handmade works. Now in this budget, the government has also talked about skill development with respect to skill development and education with respect to AI, artificial intelligence. Government has given a pyramid like structure, basic level artificial intelligence education for everyone, this for middle level and higher level of AI education for leaders of India, people who are leading, the CEOs, the high level top management of the companies. So the government is focusing that, and if we can achieve that, we can reap huge amount of benefit for these future business arenas. Thank you.